Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently working on cleaning up some Blakist reinforcements over here. It's nothing too threatening, but they have managed to get a structure exposure in our Black Knight's arm, which is a little bit sad, but it's not the end of the world for sure. We're going to move our Centaur up over this direction-ish. Yeah, I think we'll just position it here.
Affirmative.
And I'd like to start softening up somebody over here. Maybe we go for the Striker, maybe we go for the Manticore. I think we end up going for the Manticore here. The Manticore is already pre-softened, and we'd like to start eliminating some of these for sure.
Affirmative.
So we'll see what we get done there. Structure exposure, and the Manticore is gone. I like it. That's fantastic. So we have a few vehicles up here to clean up. We've only got one mech from the reinforcements down here to clean up. They were pretty small when they spawned basically right on top of us, so we were able to leverage a lot of rear arc attacks. This guy doesn't move until phase 13. The Black Knight moves in 14, but I'm not 100% convinced that we can eliminate that thing because I don't think we can get into rear arc. We'll see. That's a Magpie UAV. Interesting.
I'm receiving you.
Okay, well, our Grasshopper probably wants to head down this way and start engaging these guys. I think we'll go for the Striker. This is more of a pot shot than anything. We're pretty out of range of our AC-20 here, and that is expected. Yeah, we'll just soften up the Striker a little bit in that side arc. It moves phase 12, so that is understood. Phase 14 here, the enemy is going to move a unit. That is going to be somebody out over here. Well, that'll be our light mortar carrier. Not our. That'll be the enemy light mortar carrier. But that's absolutely fine. It's firing on our Black Knight.
Commander.
Ow. It got a head hit there. Okay, that's fine. We would actually prefer a head hit over an arm hit at that point. So that's fine. We can definitely move our crossbow up over here. We see a rear arc on this UAV. But we don't have a direct fire LOS on anything else. So let's just shoot down the UAV. Where is this thing? I guess we'll have to target it this way. That's the Cyclone. That's the UAV. Okay, so let's fire this in SAM mode. And let's see what we get. Okay, there we go. So that is the UAV shot down.
Tango down.
Excellent. That doesn't count as one of our units, though, so that's fine. The Black Knight is indeed... Actually, it might be able to get into rear arc here. Do it. Absolutely. 75% chance of a successful melee here.
Confirmed.
Now, its weak side is still exposed out over here. We did succeed the melee, so I think this guy's dead. Wow, we missed, like, everything there after the melee. But we still managed to take him out, so that's good. So I am concerned about the Black Knight's arm here. This is the left arm, which, of course, is this one here. So I'm going to be placing the Marauder right up over here as kind of a blocker. But for now, the Bandersnatch is going to break cover and just start to advance here. So we can go after either of these. The hit odds are slightly better on this Manticore. The Striker is slightly already softened, though. Very slightly. But we could fire something along the lines of this. Although I would rather not fire these medium lasers and fire these medium lasers. They'll be slightly better. Like that. Okay, let's fire on this Manticore since the hit odds are better.
Time to die.
Okay, good softening there. I like it. Yeah, that's definitely a good softener. Cool. So next up is going to be this Striker. If I was the Striker, I would go for this Black Knight. There's only a large laser in there, though, so it's not the biggest of deals if they destroy that arm. We can replace a large laser, so that's fine. Our Marauder is going to head up over here. This is a bit of range, no doubt about it, but we can continue to hit odds our best on this Striker. We can continue to hit this Striker and soften it up a bit. I'm not expecting this to be more than a softener, but we did tag it. And it will die pretty quick since it just didn't move. Yeah, it's going to go away to probably the next salvo, whatever that ends up being. They're trying to fire on the Centaur. Ooh. They've got fancy lasers in that.
That was sloppy, lad.
Yeah, they didn't go, so they didn't do that very well. But yeah, those are medium pulse laser rakers. Okay. So this APC is moving up and firing on our Bandersnatch. Double large laser is a fair amount of damage output for an APC. Okay.
Is that it? I'm
Noted.
barely scratched.
For house.
Well, that's
Toronto.
absolutely fine for now. We are going to head forward with our Centaur. The question is, who do we go after? The Manticore? I kind of want to take this up over this way somewhere. Like a rear arc on this APC. But if we do that, we're in line of fire. The other option is to just go for this striker, right? We just hit the striker rear arc over here. And this will probably kill the striker, since it can hit this side. We'll see what happens.
Roger that.
I specifically chose to go over here to keep our firing lines clear for our
Battle
other
mech
units, though. This is not necessarily ideal otherwise. So at this point, our crossbow needs to, like, start climbing up something and getting LOS. We see an LOS out over here and over here. I'm going to take this one because we know that this Manticore is pre-weakened.
Targeting for an
So let's see what we get done there. Structure exposure and a track crit.
Score. Critical hit.
I would have liked to see that Manticore die there, but it did not happen. So our Black Knight wants to position out over here, protecting its left side. Like so.
Position confirmed.
And then we can see about getting any lasers into here. If we do, it dies.
Locked and loaded. Here it comes.
We did not.
All right.
Okay.
Hit them hard now.
Well, that's reasonably fine. So next up is going to
Waiting on
be
you,
our
Commander.
Bandersnatch. And that's going to continue to advance
You
forward.
betcha.
We're just going to lob missiles into this Manticore, I think. Alternatively, we can soften up this APC. I'm thinking about hit odds right now. Let's ensure that this Manticore goes away. Not even going to fire the LRM-5. This is mostly heat sink,
Tell me
but the
what to
Manticore
shoot.
will die to this. Beautiful. So the Manticore is out, and now there are
Robin, you
two
had the
enemies
chance.
remaining, the APC and the mortar carrier. So we can move our Grasshopper forward. It can get LOS on both. I'm going to position it right up over here. Checking hit odds. The APC is the best hit odds, so we'll see what we
Punching all
get.
the buttons.
Ooh, we do hit the AC-20 there. Where did that hit? That is a relevant amount of
It's
damage.
on now.
That hit in the right side. So that's this side here. Fascinating. So our Marauder absolutely comes up over here and fires on this APC right in that same flank. We could kill it here.
Firing a full salvo.
Instead, we stray shot this already dead vehicle,
Onward.
which is sad.
No retreat.
But it was worth a try. We did get some damage into its front arc, so we'll see what the mortar carrier does here. It doesn't have a lot of armor. It's firing on the Bandersnatch? Okay. The Bandersnatch has taken a fair amount of punishment. It's been kind of the front line against the vehicles this entire time, so its armor is starting to weaken. But it's doing okay for the moment. This APC moves up, fires on our Centaur. I love it. Completely misses, and it's not firing on our Bandersnatch, which is good.
Follow my
Okay.
lead.
So next up, we've got the APC here. It's facing this direction, right? Yes. It's facing this way. So that means that its weak side is on its far side there. So it turned its strong side to us. That is the right call, to be clear. And we could position somewhere out over here. Rough terrain doesn't really matter to our
Moving
Centaur.
at a sprint.
And we can just light this guy up in his strong side. I don't love hitting the strong side here, but
Confirmed.
we'll do it.
For house
So that's a
Arana.
lot of damage to that APC.
LRMs are out.
And we've softened it up for our LRM boats. So this thing is not going to survive very many more
Order.
hits. I want to move the Grasshopper up this direction,
Onward.
and we'll fire on this light mortar carrier. I don't really expect huge hits here, but whoa. That's a lot of buffs. Okay, let's just fire on him and see what we get. We don't hit the AC-20, but we do hit the others. We soften it up a little bit. That's a zombie? Interesting.
Waiting
Well,
for
our
orders.
crossbow is going to step forward here. We don't have LOS on anything, But we can lob a few indirect missiles at this APC. We're not going to get very much done there, but we can...
Oh, it's on now.
Okay, we got a crew compartment crit there.
Critical hit, Commander.
That's not bad.
Good to go.
It's actually better than I expected. So from here, the Bandersnatch can fire on that light mortar carrier. It's side arc. I feel like that's not a bad thing. I feel like we can absolutely take a bit of a pot shot here. Let's see what we get done.
Let's get
And we got it.
fired up.
Beautiful.
There's work to do.
It was a little bit of a risk, but it paid off. I like it.
Report.
And it honestly wasn't that much of a risk. Let's just position our Marauder up over here and look at finishing off the Turin APC. Unfortunately, our UAC-5 is jammed, so this may or may not happen.
Engaging.
Just a little bit of armor damage there. Okay. Well, the APC has... The pilot has
Yes,
panicked.
Commander.
Our Black Knight is going to continue to position up over here, protecting its left side. And we're going to fire our large lasers here. Again, we could destroy it with this. Odds are a little
Taking the
low.
shot.
Okay, it didn't work, but that's fine. It'll definitely die
Negative damage.
next round, but it does get one more round of firing, which is sad. No doubt about it. We'll see what it does here, but it's not going to survive much longer. Fires on our Centaur. It does have machine guns, so that's a pretty good shred on our Centaur's armor,
Practice.
but that's fine for the
I'll
moment.
break 'em in two.
Okay, the Centaur is just going to head up here, and it's turbo dead. It does not survive this. Excellent.
Follow my lead.
We missed the melee, which is very sad, but it still doesn't survive this.
I'll break
Cool.
'em in two.
Yeah, that's fine. You can
That's
calculate.
one less
You don't need to
hostile.
calculate anything. The mission is over. A milk run just as we expected. I mean, yes, but also there were unexpected reinforcements, Darius. Okay, so we got very little salvage out of that, and that's fine. We don't actually care about anything that we saw there, to be honest. We'll take maybe like an ERPPC or something, but we got almost nothing out of that, and there's almost nothing to get. We were there almost exclusively for payment. So that's good. We definitely needed to build up our finances a bit. We got about 2 million C-bills. That'll help. We need another like 3 million, but that's all fine. Salvage-wise, all we get is a Mortar 4, 2 large lasers, and a Cyclone part. That's all fine. We're okay with that. Cool. So we're going to have to do some repairs here, and I'd like to talk about what we want to do with the hoplite. So we don't have sniper artillery ammo. We only have 1 ton of Arrow 4 ammo. I would love to put a sniper artillery onto our Epimetheus, and maybe even an Arrow 4, but I feel like that's pushing the knockdown chance. So the idea would be that the Epimetheus, being a big ol' assault mech, I believe, is it an 80 or an 85? I can't remember. It's one of those. The Epimetheus would be able to wield both the sniper artillery and be basically an LRM boat all in one. And that would be magnificent. Unfortunately, without the sniper artillery ammo, or additional Arrow 4 ammo, we don't have a particularly good way to do that. So let's check the store here. I don't have a lot of hope that those ammos would be in the store, but we can see. No, absolutely not. Okay. Well, that is fine. There's a Thumper cannon in the store, but we don't have Thumper ammo. Right? I'm just double checking here. What all ammo do we have for artillery? We would have to remove Thumper ammo from the hoplite. So the hoplite would kind of cease to be a backup mech. That said, our artillery mech shouldn't need a backup. So there is that. If we were to hop in here, and we were to get this hoplite refitted, and this will be relatively expensive, but we did just make 2 million C-bills, so that's something. Anyway, we do have only 1 ton of Thumper ammo here. Okay. But that has 15 shots. I really wish we had a sniper rifle ammo, or sniper artillery ammo, rather. That would be amazing. Unfortunately, we just don't. So we've got the LRM-15 Longfire here, the Ferrofibrous, the Endosteel. We could simply strip this equip, and that'll cost us like 12,000 C-bills. So I'm going to do that. We're going to strip off all of the equipment of the hoplite. And we're going to store this. So I'm going to unready the hoplite. We're upgrading this to the Epimetheus. So now we're going to refit the Epimetheus Prime, and this is going to be fairly expensive. So, we're going to repair all, we're going to strip whatever equip is on here, which is almost none. And then I would like to put the Thumper Artillery in this torso. Unfortunately, it won't go in the torso. It'll have to go in... Wait a sec. It won't fit this torso? Okay. That kind of breaks things. I expected it to fit that torso. Well, in that case, we could put the Arrow 4 in. The Arrow 4, if I recall correctly, did fit in the arm. Yeah. It's very strange to me that... Oh, it's because it wants to move it towards the CT, isn't it? I bet it is. I bet that's what the problem is there. So we'll put an Arrow 4 in here. We only have 1 ton of ammo for the Arrow 4, so we only have 5 shots. We'll have to be pretty judicious with these shots. So that's all fine. We've got clan armor on here already, and we've got multi-track as our quirk. So that's all reasonably fine. I would like to put in something along the lines of an LRM-20 in here, or we could just forget this, not have an artillery mech, because honestly, artillery is kind of mediocre. They're reworking it in the new version, but artillery is, I mean, it can be very good, but it can also be very useless. So maybe we just rework this Epimetheus, and we have this be a cavalry mech. So that would be something like an MRM-30, although I'd prefer this to be an MRM-40. We can also toss in like a Streak SR, or rather just an SRM-6, something like that. We ditch the Arrow 4 ammo. We would need some ammo for the MRM. So MRM improved ammo sounds good. This is 240 shots. That's plenty of ammo there. Then we would need SRM ammo. We could go with Deadfire SRM ammo, which is actually pretty good. Plus 50% ammo damage. That would be 100 shots. Okay, that would be a good amount of ammo. So we can put in some Deadfire SRM ammo here, max out this armor, and then we have ourselves 2 ballistic slots and 4 energy slots. So we could go with just like generic medium lasers as being very, very weight efficient in those slots. Then, as far as the ballistic slots go, this is only a 1 slot here. We could go with like a machine gun. That wouldn't be, you know, hugely effective, but a machine gun would be interesting in this setup. I would want this to be able to move pretty fast, so we would go with maybe like a dual machine gun as 2 slots. We could go with a heavy machine gun. Does that use heavy MG ammo? It does. I don't know if we have ammo for that. Do we have HMG ammo? We've got just regular machine gun ammo. Okay. So that would be fine. We could definitely swap that out for just a regular machine gun. We could put this in down over here. The clan armor has case built into it, which is convenient. So then we would just use a regular machine gun. Something like this. And then in this slot, we would want something that is a pretty big gun. I'd like an AC-20. This is kind of filling a similar role as our Grasshopper. We could go with a light AC-20, which does have a jam chance. But that may not be the worst thing in the world. So a light AC-20 there, leaving us 20 tons to work with. Then we would need ammo for that AC-20. We could use like a double ton of ammo here. So that would be 12 AC-20 ammo, which is probably sufficient. Where would we want to put that? Well, we've got this SRM Deadfire. Having it in the CT would not be a great place for it. I do think this would be sufficient ammo, broadly. And we may upgrade this from the light AC-20, which has that jam chance, mitigated by gunnery. But we may not. We'll see. So I think the double ton of AC-20 ammo could maybe be... I don't like putting it in the arm here. I don't like putting the MRM ammo in the torso, but we could do it something like this. Either way, we've got a lot of ammo in this thing, and that's definitely a little bit of a concern. No doubt about that. Okay, so this is reasonably fine. Now we have about 20 tons to put into heat sinks and to put into our engine cores. So that's, of course, not a lot of weight for that. So what do we want in terms of engines? I'd love an engine core 300. That puts us slightly overweight, but that puts our movement at a decent amount. From there, we could think about an engine light. That, of course, is going to require some slots. Yeah, it requires 2 additional slots here. So we don't really have the capability of doing that. We have clan armor already. We could go endosteel structure. That would give us enough to have 1 heatsink. Okay. We could put a double heatsink kit in here just to boost our heat efficiency by default, like that. Now, we don't have a double heatsink to put in here. So we can't sink any additional heat. That is a concern. But we could put a Beagle probe in here. That would take up 1.5 tons. That would end up going out over here. And then we would need to lose a little bit of tonnage in our legs. Something like this. This is a really theoretically powerful mech. 466 melee damage. In the long range, it's still 350 damage. Its heat is not perfect. Wait, do we have an engine heatsink? We could have an engine heatsink in here. No, I don't think we do. Is that under internals? No, I don't think we have an engine heatsink. So we could theoretically put one in there as a little bit more heat efficiency. But we can always just choose not to fire a couple of medium lasers, right? Each of these medium lasers produces 9 heat. Our heat delta is 35. Okay. So yeah, 4 times 9 is... Why am I blanking this right now? It is 36, right? Yes. 4 times 9 is 36. So if we don't fire the medium lasers, we're heat negative. If we do fire any medium lasers, we're heat positive. So heat is a minor concern here. No doubt about it. But it gives us options. Now, this is relatively expensive. This basically eats up all of that money that we just put in. But let's get that Epimetheus going. Beautiful. That's going to take 41 days to get that online. It's not ideal, for sure. We're going to get the Crossbow X as a high priority here. And let's tick forward a little bit. So work on the Crossbow X is going to be done right about now, I think. Yeah, it should be done. It is indeed. So this is currently empty, and we don't know what we want this to be just yet. So we can refit this, and maybe this could be... I don't know what we want this crossbow to be yet, to be honest. We could just keep it as a backup mech and outfit it if we lose a mech. It's a theoretical option. It has primitive armor right now. I do think at this juncture that we should store our Shadowhawk. We should also store our Wraith and our Trebuchet and this Rifleman. Okay, so we'll get that going. That is absolutely fine. We're going to have a fair amount of mechs here, certainly. So that is, what, 9 mechs? So we've got our 8 mechs that we're going to be deploying here, and then we've got this backup crossbow that I'm not sure what we want to do with just yet. We'll cross that bridge, A, when we get there, and B, when we have more money. Keep in mind, we have a financial report in 1 day. Let's tick forward here, and take that financial report. I'm going to do extravagant here, but it's going to be mildly painful. We've spent a lot of money recently, and we need to make money. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to be continuing to work on repairs here for a little bit. 8 days. Okay. So now all that we're working on is the Epimetheus, and we don't need to continue to work on that. Let's hop into our barracks. And we are going to do any mech warrior promotions that we can.
Ready for orders.
Good to go.
Any of these
Order.
ready to go?
I've got your
Actually,
back.
yes. Magus, you can grab a point of piloting. That looks good.
Training complete.
And then we've got Plato here, who had a choice selection. Now, Plato pilots the Grasshopper. So we probably want him to grab something like Berserker would be an interesting option. We'll do it. And forget to use it.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Perfect. So next up, we are going to do nothing here. Okay, so that's all done. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to go make some money. We need to replenish a lot of money that we've put into this. No doubt about that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.